Why are 99% of users, and honestly, even seasoned small businesses, still treating AI like it's just some glorified search engine? You know the drill. Sitting there waiting around for a prompt and completely missing out on true automation.
Think about that for a second. We are literally living through the most powerful technological shift of our generation, right? And the vast majority of people are using it just to summarize text or answer basic questions. It's kind of crazy.
But what really shatters this whole paradigm is when you look at the extreme end of execution. Like, how exactly did a billion-dollar company build a fully autonomous AI agent from absolute scratch in exactly 10 weeks while writing zero documentation? Well, this is the hardcore engineering reality of what Eddie Kim, the co-founder of Gusto, just pulled off with their new AI co-founder product.
To really grasp the massive stakes here, we have to look at the sheer scale of Gusto. We are definitely not talking about some weekend side project for a tiny startup. Gusto brings in over $1 billion in annual recurring revenue. They serve over 500,000 small businesses across the U.S. To put that into perspective, literally 1 in 5 new businesses started today are Gusto customers. So rolling out a new, fully autonomous AI product across a user base that massive requires absolute precision. So where did the initial spark for this actually come from?
Well, it started with 8 hours of pure, agonizing technical friction. Eddie actually spent 8 uninterrupted hours just trying to set up an air-gapped open-source AI model locally. He literally went out to a store and bought a Mac Mini just to safely run this local model without worrying about the horror stories of an AI autonomously deleting everyone's emails. But after finally securing and configuring the whole shebang, he hit this massive conceptual wall.
He identified what he calls the blank canvas problem. That is basically an AI chatbot just sitting there waiting for you to tell it what to do. He contrasted this completely with proactive automation. Eddie realized that true agentic value isn't waiting around for a prompt. It's taking existing recurring processes like running a weekly payroll end-to-end and executing them without the user ever even needing to log into the platform. A total game changer.
And the catalyst to actually build this proactive agent, it happened completely by accident. So Eddie was on vacation in Madrid. On his way back, he totally misses his connecting flight to San Francisco, which leaves him stranded with a 5-hour layover in a London airport lounge. Frustrated, sure, but he suddenly had uninterrupted time. So he pops up in his laptop, fires up Claude Code, and in those exact 5 hours, he built the very first working, CRUD-based web app builder prototype.
That 5-hour airport prototype basically triggered one of the most condensed development sprints you will ever see inside a billion-dollar company. Just 5 total AI builders pulled this off. That's 4 engineers and 1 designer. But here is the absolute wildest part. That 1 designer was writing production-grade code using Claude right alongside the hardcore engineers. The total development cycle to launch a Tier 1 product? Exactly 10 weeks.
Now, to move that fast, they had to completely destroy the traditional software development lifecycle. You know, the old way, Jira boards, tech specs, Figma prototypes. Well, the Gusto AI era dev cycle? 0 Jira. Absolutely 0 written documents, 0 upfront Figmas. Instead, they relied on a 24/7 perma-Zoom room where the 5 builders just hopped in and out whenever. They burned through massive amounts of Claude Code tokens, and get this, they communicated their design and product ideas exclusively through direct pull requests.
And that intense reliance on pull request brings us to a staggering metric, a 50% deletion rate. Because AI makes writing code so incredibly cheap and fast now, the team adopted a super aggressive execution philosophy. Instead of debating an idea in a meeting for hours or writing a long spec document, they would just generate the code 3 different ways, open a pull request, and review the actual implementation. This meant fully accepting a 50% deletion rate for all code submitted. They threw half of it away.
So what exactly did this rapid-fire coding replace for the end user? Let's drill down into a highly specific case study they tackled, a massage spa. Here was the old way. Step 1, the owner exports data from MindBody. Step 2, they paste it into Google Sheets to manually calculate commission, tips, and hours. Step 3, they push all that into Gusto Payroll. The AI co-founder replaces that entire painful weekly process. Now the agent executes all of that in the background automatically and simply sends a text message asking for a quick yes or no final approval.
The foundational architecture making all of this happen is deceptively simple. 30. As in a 30-minute cron job. Inspired by reading the actual source code of open source models, Gusto's AI initially ran on a simple heartbeat that triggered an LLM every 30 minutes just to scan for workflows. Over time, because things like Payroll obviously required deterministic precision, they expanded this from a pure 30-minute heartbeat to highly specific, deterministic scheduled cron jobs. This guarantees the execution time and keeps those token costs in check.
But listen, the value of this agent goes way beyond just saving a few hours of boring data entry. Take the incredible use case of Cabana Pools. The Gusto co-founder proactively scanned the business's data, realized they were conducting qualified research, and autonomously found them a $50,000 R&D tax credit. The AI literally filled out the complex government forms itself. All the business owner had to do was review it and grant permission. That is 50 grand delivered without the user lifting a single finger. Insane, right?
Now let's map out their exact customer rollout sequence. They started entirely under the radar with a 20-customer small business council for early pre-launch feedback. Then, they officially launched access to 500 customers. And the crucial realization from watching these early users, the optimal experience isn't some complex web dashboard, it's simple chat interfaces over SMS and Slack. And looking strictly at their future roadmap, they are prioritizing WhatsApp and Telegram specifically to bypass the strict character limits of SMS.
Okay, it is time for our mandatory core review. I am going to rapid-fire recap every single quantified metric and hard fact we've extracted today. Let's go. We started with a 5-hour airport prototype, built by exactly 5 builders, 4 engineers, 1 designer, a blistering 10-week dev cycle, 0 written docs, 0 Jira, 0 upfront Figma, a singular 24/7 perma-Zoom room, a massive 50% pull request deletion rate, a foundation of 30-minute LLM cron jobs, proactively finding $50,000 in tax credits, and an initial launch strictly capped at 500 small business customers.
Which all distills down to today's core takeaway. AI abundance means execution speed now relies on deleting code faster, not writing better product specs. The era of incredibly cheap code completely flips traditional product management on its head. Implementation itself is now your absolute primary tool for discovery.
So, I am throwing this hardcore debate directly to you. Consider this methodology: 0 docs, a 24/7 Zoom room, and willingly throwing away 50% of your pull requests. Is this genius AI era speed that every builder needs to adopt right now? Or is this a massive technical debt trap just waiting to explode at scale? I want to see your exact reasoning down in the comments. And to help you implement, or honestly avoid, these exact strategies, leave a comment below right now, and you will get our complete AI Builder Tool breakdown alongside the full operational mind map we use to dissect this entire case study. Dive into the comments, let us know exactly where you stand, and we will see you on the next explainer.